Hi everyone, it has been a while since I have been live on Facebook, so I'm really happy to be able to talk to you today. So actually this morning in my meditation, I got something quite interesting and then I wrote them down and I think that's really fitting for this week's topic. And if you have been watching my blog and podcast in the last couple of weeks, there's a lot of self-reflecting and self-reviewing kind of ideas there, and it maybe just sums it up really well. So first thing in the morning when I meditate, I had this came to me, which is about allow the darkness to be dissolved by the light. So it may be very spiritual sounding and very much like something that you may read in an inspirational or motivational book, but I also know what it was referring to. So part of it, I was thinking about the past mistakes I have been making. And so my birthday is approaching, and often this is the time of the year in July that I do some sort of self-review or thinking what I have been doing or what I haven't been doing or what I should have been doing. And sometimes I can talk myself into some sort of spiraling, like I should have done something better or I shouldn't have done something. And there's so many of these different kind of combination. But what I realized this morning is that what you have done in the past or what you have done in terms of mistakes you have done in the past is in the past. You are not defined by your past nor your past mistake. So obviously we need to understand what we've done wrong and try to change that going forward. But one of the things is that we often get so defined by what we have been doing or what we have done wrong or what people have wronged us. So that's the past. And whether it's a mistake, whether it's something unfair, we can't change that. And the other thing is that I also feel that sometimes we're overestimating or we so dwell in the predictability about the future. So sometimes the future can really surprise us. And there are things that beyond our control, for better or worse, can come into play. But sometimes we, for some reason, can dwell on the future. If you have a negative sort of mindset or self-talk habit, then, it will go into the direction of things won't change. He or she is always like that. My boss is like this all the time. So, there's a predictability about that part of future. And sometimes we're overestimating it, meaning that, there are a lot of things that we can change. There are a lot of things that we can also try differently and therefore affecting the outcome. But sometimes because we're so accustomed to what we've been getting or receiving, we kind of stop ourselves from saying, look, hold on a minute, this could be different. I don't have to keep on taking this. Or if I change something now in here, maybe 1 year, 1 month, or 1 week later, things can be different. So sometimes, in a way, we shouldn't be so dwell on the past or no future. And of course, the only thing that matters is now. And I guess because I'm reviewing my life, it's my birthday coming up, it's often the time for me to think about the past and the future. And I realize that, of course, only now it's real. And so when I get that message in my meditation about, allow your darkness to be dissolved by the light. What it means to me is that the darkness, what I'm referring to, is that sometimes when I beat myself up or thinking I should have done something better or I should or shouldn't have done something, the past or the past mistakes that you used to define yourself, these things can be dissolved by the light, meaning understanding what is your truth, understanding what's the cause of mistake and also understand that you're willing to change that can really be dissolving all this burden we have on our shoulder to the light. So it just kind of came to me. And also I was reading a lot about motivation, inspiration these days, preparing my next book. And I feel we need to understand this a little bit better in terms of motivation. But what motivates us tend to be maybe a goal or achievement or something quite external. But when you talk about being inspired, it's often the internal. And the thing is, if you inspire, say, to write a book or share your story or to help someone to do something, when you put your love into everything you do, you will never be wrong. It will never be something that's not worth it or don't matter. In fact, when you put your love into whatever you do, whether you see a financial return of it or whether you see it's going to be liked by one person or 1,000 person, don't get so hung up on it. Because as long as you're honest to yourself, you're true to yourself and put love into what you do, it will benefit somebody or to the world or for you. So I guess that's being inspired means that when you do something from your heart, you inspire to do something, it will always come in the sense that even, maybe this video is going to see by one person or 10,000 people, it's still going to make, I will still feel good because I shared it, or maybe someone will benefit from it. But if I'm just motivated to make sure I do enough, social media engagement because I need to achieve this goal, like by X amount of people, it's external. And sometimes, there are days that we just don't feel like doing it. It's because you're motivated by external factors. So motivation is something that, for me, it's something you have to try to do. Well, when you inspire, it just comes naturally from you. So whatever you are trying to do in your life, whether it's making a change or, going through anything that you need to make a decision, make sure you're inspired by the decision you're going to make, whatever you're going to choose, rather than you're motivated to take a certain path, because it may not last and it may not be totally, true for you and the best for you. So stay inspired and think about motivation slightly differently. Think about it as something more external, but what is really guiding you, it's always more internal. So when I wrote this morning on my journal about allow the darkness to be dissolved by the light, it's also the same. Allow myself to be inspired and learn from my mistake, so I no longer being defined by my past or my past era. And that's most important, because as long as we're human, we're going to make mistakes, we're going to have lessons to learn. We cannot be hung up with all these things about past or future. All we can do best is now, in the present moment. So by pouring a love into everything we do, with every relationship we encounter, you'll be guaranteed that you won't have such burden, because you will never be wrong, because you're true to yourself. So I hope whatever came up of meditation this morning is helpful for you. And I also want to remind you that I'm offering free coaching to lucky winners a month, because I'm launching my new book and I'm working on it. And I really want to talk to more people who are in transition. So whether you are relocating, finding a new job, or relationship, so when you're in transition, meaning that you're changing from one stage to another, then often you'll face challenges and you're thinking that you need someone to help you. So today, maybe it's a good time for you to, quickly check out my link and fill in that form. And 2 lucky winners a month is going to get a free coaching session. So for me, I can hear more about people who are in transition. The common challenges are things that tend to be bothering them, and see what I can help as a coach. So, and I want my book to be truly something useful for everyone. And although I have a lot of stories, a lot of different conversations that I know what I'm going to write about, I still want to talk to more people like you who are watching this video. So if you're interested to participate in my book research, and as part of going to the lucky draw, 2 lucky winners going to win a free coaching session from me every month, then fill up the form. It's going to take less than 1 minute. So, well, I wish you all the best, and I hope whatever I felt this morning from a meditation is helpful for you, and you have an awesome rest of the week. So see you next time on Facebook Live.